This just in, according to a report, Deebo Samuel expected to have a contract done soon. That'll make him one of the highest paid wide receivers in the National Football League, around $70 million in guaranteed cash. We'll get to that. Also an update on Jimmy Garoppolo. First, though, this is the 49ers Report by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Chase Senior, and today's show presented by Manscaped. Everybody talks about it being hot boy summer. It's also hot ball summer. Get your balls cleaned up with the best men's grooming products with Manscaped by heading to manscaped.com/49ers. By plugging in that link, you get 20% off and free shipping. I'll put that link in the comment section and the description of this video. So this tweet just dropped from Sheena quick, and you're probably watching this right now saying, this isn't one of the most noteworthy reporters out there like Ian Rappaport, Adam Schefter, Jeremy Fowler, Tom Pelissero. Who is Sheena Quick? Well, she did say this moments ago on Twitter, per source, the Deebo Samuel deal should be done soon. Guaranteed money could be as much as $70 million. But like anybody who goes to journalism school, in Journalism 101, you're always taught by your professor to find out who the source is. So I did my research, and this is who Sheena is. Panthers beat writer. She works for 1340 AM Fox Sports Radio in Charlotte, member of Pro Football Writers of America Association, but she also lives and works in South Carolina, and the tie that immediately rang a bell in my head, Deebo Samuel went to South Carolina, is also from South Carolina. So she might know somebody within the Deebo Samuel camp, whether it be him, a representative, an agent, family member, friend who has given her information that a Deebo Samuel contract could be done soon. But this has also been reported over the last couple of days, with San Francisco reporting to training camp yesterday that both sides are currently negotiating and those conversations have been productive. If Deebo Samuel does in fact get paid around $70 million in guaranteed money, this is where he would be in terms of the highest paid wide receivers in the league with guaranteed cash. Not average annual value, but guaranteed cash. We'll see what the years are if and when a deal gets done. But Cooper Kupp, just a few weeks ago, got that new deal, inking it with the Los Angeles Rams, guaranteed money up front, $75 million. Tyreek Hill right behind him at 72 plus. Stefon Diggs at 70, but the average annual value cost is actually pretty team friendly. Davante Adams just shy of 66 mil, and Michael Thomas, who's practicing finally with the New Orleans Saints, hasn't really played the last couple of years, just under $61 million in guaranteed money. So much left to get to on this show. You don't want to miss any of our analysis as we pass along all of the latest news and rumors, but I want to hear from you, Faith. You're in the shoes of John Lynch. You're negotiating this deal. Would you give Deebo, coming off a masterful season last year, $70 million in guaranteed money? This will be the pinned comment on today's video. So if you get hit with that YouTube ad break, just scroll on down, get your votes in. By the time you do that, we'll be back breaking this down. Give me a Y for yes or an N for no. As for the latest from Santa Clara, day 2 of training camp, first official day of practice for San Francisco. Deebo not partaking in practice. He did drills on the side. This is basically deemed an official hold in, not a hold out. If it was a hold out, he would risk getting fined. He would stay away from the facility. He would not have reported to training camp, and obviously he'd get hit with some financial penalties. Instead, he reports to training camp. You eliminate any drama, but you get to save your body until you get that guaranteed dough, and you just do drills on the side so you don't have to worry about potentially getting injured. Kyle Shanahan on Wednesday morning asked about his just awesome and terrific offensive weapon at that wideout spot. He said this: hopefully we can figure something out soon, but we're in a good place today. So things continue to point toward a potential deal getting done between Deebo and San Francisco. This is important for a multitude of reasons. You pay Deebo Samuel now, he'll immediately get on the practice field, start getting in those reps with Trey Lance, who, as we know, is very inexperienced and needs every single repetition that he can get throughout this offseason. He's going to be able to get that with Jimmy Garoppolo expected to stay away from the team. Also, for Deebo Samuel, you ink that deal and you eliminate any potential drama that could hover around him, hover around this franchise. And then lastly, The trade request was made this spring. It looked as though Deebo was going to be out and force his way out. He demanded a trade from this front office, but the 49ers scoured the market. They didn't get any deals that appeased them. And at the end of the day, why would you want to have a divorce between a partnership that is working like a fine marriage right now between Deebo, Kyle Shanahan, this organization, how he's used, and Kyle Shanahan just being a brilliant play caller to put Deebo in a position to succeed in the future, succeed in the past, which last year is a big reason why he set up for this big payday, and he can be that bona fide number one target as you try to continue to develop, groom, and turn Trey Lance into one of the premier quarterbacks in this league. It's hard for young quarterbacks to really break out and be at the top of their peak if they don't have a legitimate number one wide receiver. Deebo Samuel's been able to prove that while he's missed a couple of games here and there to start his NFL career, he is an incredible football player. If you're subscribed to the 49ers Report, why wouldn't you be? We pushed out 3 videos today, one already with this show, and then I'll probably do another one later with training camp day 1 winners and losers. I want you to type real one in the comment section if you've been supporting everything that we do here. Largest 49ers YouTube channel covering all of the latest news and rumors, north of 60,000 subs. Hit that sub button if you haven't already done so, because we're just getting started on the program. Still to come right around the corner, according to Florio, Pro Football Talk, Jimmy Garoppolo absolutely going to get cut if a couple of things transpire, a lot of this coming down to the financials. We'll cover that, but first, as I mentioned off the top of the show, 49ers Report sponsored and presented to you today by Manscaped. And Deebo Samuel, he likes to keep the football close to him so he doesn't fumble it. Well, you don't want to fumble with your significant other, and you'll fumble in the bedroom with your significant other if you don't use the Lawnmower 4.0 or rock these awesome boxer briefs that'll put you on a one-way road to Pleasure Town. Everybody's talking about how it's hot boy summer, it's hot ball summer, but those boxer briefs, they keep your balls nice, clean, and cool. And then the Lawnmower 4.0, able to trim everything up down there in the nether region. So 20% off and free shipping with that custom link specifically made for the Niner gang, the Niner Empire and the faithful. It's manscaped.com/49ers. As always, we'll put it in the comment section and the description of this video. From the wide receiver position in Deebo to the quarterback in Jimmy Garoppolo, at least the maybe former 49ers quarterback. Matt Mayoko saying this on Twitter earlier today. Jimmy G was in this morning in Santa Clara. He did his throwing program, not required to stick around after that, so he is no longer in the building. Matt Barrows on top of that of The Athletic. Kyle Shanahan said the Niners only requiring Garoppolo to take part in his throwing and ramp-up program, which he did this morning. Then he left for the day. It's roughly the same situation as the spring. Garoppolo's on the roster, but not, quote, with the team. On the Garoppolo front here, couple of things that are at play in terms of his future. It's becoming more and more clear that the San Francisco 49ers are going to wait to trade Jimmy Garoppolo, and if they can't find a trade partner, the last resort will be to cut him. There are significant financial aspects at play here with Garoppolo being on this team in week 1. The 49ers will do their due diligence. They'll wait out the trade market. They gave up a second-round pick for Garoppolo, and it worked out. He won 71% of his starts, helped lift the Niners to 2 NFC championship games over 3 years, and that Super Bowl appearance in 2019 when he helped play Patrick Mahomes for a majority of that ball game. And they want to get some semblance of value back in a Garoppolo trade. If a quarterback goes down with an injury, with an already team that is ready to win right now, or if a quarterback fails to perform well, reach expectations, and there are question marks and concerns about that quarterback on a roster that is equipped to win right now, is there a better option to trade for at the quarterback position than Jimmy Garoppolo? No, and the Niners might be able to get some pretty solid value back in terms of maybe a depth piece and or some draft compensation. Now, if it comes to the point where the Niners have to cut him before week 1, they'll do that because of the financials at play. This coming from Florio of Pro Football Talk about the guaranteed money set to be paid to Garoppolo if he's on the team to start this season on opening day. With the team now all in on Trey Lance, the 49ers will squat on Garoppolo, hope for a trade opportunity to materialize. If it doesn't, they will absolutely cut him before week 1 when his $24.2 million salary would otherwise become fully guaranteed as termination pay under the collective bargaining agreement. So that is really the important facet in this Garoppolo timeline. You can be patient, and you can afford to be patient. Not expected to be a full participant in practice until mid-August. He's been throwing for the last couple of weeks. He passed his physical yesterday, as the Niners reported to training camp. Wait to see if something transpires or happens at the quarterback spot elsewhere across the NFL. And if a guy gets injured or if their play is subpar, they can reach out to San Francisco, maybe work on a contract restructure and try to trade for Garoppolo, who, again, with a winning team, will add a lot of value to that organization because that's what he does really well. He wins, and he's a middle-tier starter in this league and the best available guy out there when it comes to the other available quarterbacks in the NFL. So look into your crystal ball, predict it. What do you think will happen with Garoppolo? Let me know right now before we head on out of here. T for trade, C for cut. Get those votes in. Also, subscribe to the channel. Training camp news and updates, as well as great analysis every single day right here on the channel. We're going to continue to push out unbelievable, crazy, consistent, informative, and entertaining coverage. Hit that red sub button down below and join the faithful family here at Chat Sports.